Hello and welcome to the Australian Gamer Show. I'm Yug.
I'm Matt.
Alright, so we're going to be talking about the Ballad of Gay Tony.
Local iPhone developers.
Space.
Okay.
No. That was wrong. Project Needle Mouse.
No, it did say space. Oh,
I'm
I see
Batman.
mutants from space.
Sorry. I want to say that
Mouse,
one.
what?
I'm Batman.
Okay.
Yep.
PS3 update.
BlizzCon.
And some upcoming events.
Yep. Hey Matt, how you doing?
I'm good. It's been a long time since we've hung out. We've just like chillaxed.
You know, it kind of has been, to be honest.
It has. Do you hate the word chillaxed as much as I do?
I love the word chillaxed.
Yeah,
I love
it's
make
a pretentious, preppy, stupid bullshit word, and
I just like make-believe words.
Yeah, true.
Because I tend to make up a lot of my own quite often.
What was it? Subtleness.
Subtleness.
Was it the word?
Is that not a real word?
No. Subtlety.
No, I like subtleness.
Yeah, okay.
Much better.
So, the Ballad of Gay Tony.
Whoa. We're just going to launch right into it. We're not going to get better acquainted here, you know? Like,
are we going to catch up, see how things are going? How's the wife and kids?
Like, how did the podcast last time go?
It was good. It was good. It would be better to do podcasts with Phil. Oracle's good, but Phil would be better if he would sit the fuck up.
Right.
Like, he was literally lounging in the couch.
Right.
It is a lounge, but you don't have to.
He does bring a certain level to the
It's not a level of energy.
Right. It's his beard. I think it's weighing him down.
I think so. I think it's hard to get up with that much facial hair.
All right, so now we can go into it. Look at that banter. It was great.
Wow,
it was beautiful.
That was like professional.
Gay Tony.
Yeah? Oh.
Yes. Sorry. No, not someone that we know.
The
Ballad of Gay
Tony.
Is the new episode coming out from Rockstar Games for Grand Theft Auto 4. I think it's included in like a double pack. You can get Lost and Damned and Gay Tony. But there was a couple of trailers.
Episodes, I think. Liberty City episodes.
Liberty
City Stories.
No, that was a game on the PSP, wasn't it?
Hush.
Score one. But yeah, Ballad of Gay Tony, there were a bunch of trailers that came out. I didn't really have much to say other than is it bad that I really liked the music in these trailers?
It was shit. I don't say that by... I'm not saying my opinion is that it's shit and that somehow makes it more important than your opinion.
My opinion.
Because that is totally unfair. I'm just saying from an objective, factual point that it was shit, the music. And you're a fuckwit.
No. See, you're wrong on so many levels there. I thought it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it.
I thought it suited the...
I did, yeah, exactly. But more importantly, I think it's kind of cool. Watching that trailer was very, very cinematic, very, very, very over the top. Really, really cool. That's just an expansion that they could actually do so much with just an expansion.
Well, they've got everything established now. They've got the framework there, so they just build shit on top of it.
That's what I think's cool. The only thing that really hasn't been announced, because there was a trailer that came out, I think today, that actually showed the Gay Tony character. But the only thing that I haven't found out anything about is whether it fits into the Grand Theft Auto 4 storyline. Lost and Damned, you sort of saw Nico every so often, sort of thing, and it kind of crossed into it. But
I suspect we'll see it interweaving in much the same way.
I really like that stuff. So
yeah, that's
did you know? Have you read the novel American Psycho? Sorry,
no, I've seen the movie, but I haven't read the novel.
Have you seen the movie or read the book, The Rules of Attraction?
Yeah. What's confusing me here is that I think you're implying you read a book.
Yeah, I've been reading heaps of books lately.
Really?
I read a book that's thicker than an Xbox case.
That's how you define things.
Yeah, it was like four of them stacked together.
Wow, what was it?
I can't remember.
Oh my god, when was this?
A couple of weeks ago. There was two of them. They were a sci-fi one, and it was an English sci-fi writer. It was about. This is going to not work.
Gonna go well. Was it possibly about space?
Yes.
Okay, I know that one.
No, hold on. They didn't have spaceships. They used wormhole technology. So it starts off. The book starts off like early in Earth's history, they land on Mars, right? And it's like one small step. They put the flag down, and then they see a wormhole that's opened up with two like hippie-looking guys going, ha ha. So like that cuts forward like hundreds of years later. There's no space like travel, really spaceships or anything like that, because wormhole technology managed to connect.
You bypass an awful lot of bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. But then there's like a alien race that they find out one of the planets that they go to discover it, and there's massive war and the other cool concept. I'm going to bring this up because it's totally off tangent. It has nothing to do with games.
Then, by all means.
Exactly. The other cool thing in the book was that when you die, everyone has like this crystal memory chip in the back of their heads, right? Or in their bodies. When they die, that's just replanted into the next body that's sort of grown, sort of thing. So no one ever really dies. But then there's that whole concept of, well, do you die or do you...
Are you the same person?
Are you the same person? And I like that concept. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, that kind of... I've read some sci-fi that does similar things where your brain is stored in this quantum computer and it stores all of your memories and stuff, and your brain then... Your thinking, your mind is then software, so it's copyable and...
Yeah. So, I mean, if anyone can know... I actually think I posted on the forums a couple of weeks back. If anyone can know what those books are, that'd be really good, because there's more of them, apparently. And I'd like to read them. Why was I talking about reading books?
Well, you were talking about The Ballad of Gay Tony, and somehow you decided books. I don't really know where you're going with that.
American Psycho. Yeah.
Yes,
I found out because I read it and the Rules of Attraction, and I found out the guy that wrote these books, all the books that he writes, all the characters are completely crossed over through all the books, sort of thing, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
So that's what it's like with Grand Theft Auto.
Right. Just to bring it back.
Yeah.
Did you know that the character that you play in The Ballad of Gay Tony, who's
is not actually Gay Tony?
No, it's not. He's like Gay Tony's
stepbrother.
2IC.
No, 2IC.
His friend. Do you know what 2IC stands for?
Tuick? Hold on. No.
It's second
twice
in charge. Just to
in
move
charge, exactly. You're in charge so much, you're in charge twice.
Second in charge.
Right.
But anyway.
Okay, that's close.
Yeah, so that guy whose name I really should know but have forgotten completely.
Oh, God, your memory is horrible, man.
Whatever. Anyway, I don't remember. I remember the name of the last book I read.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is he was one of the people in the bank hold-up in GTA 4. He was one of the...
okay, right. Okay,
he was one of the people, just sort of the innocent bystanders.
There are people out there that research this stuff so much. I remember when
the wiki is really scary.
Yeah, and like there's before a Rockstar announced anything, they're like, "Oh, we've got a character name. Let's go back through the entire Grand Theft Auto
and they tear apart the source code and shit and find out bits of dialogue that connect and."
Some people just have way too much time on their hands.
It's no wonder then with things like that hot coffee was found.
When you think about it,
with people tearing
did
apart.
you know that the lawsuit was resolved for that?
I did hear that.
I'm quoting a figure that's completely wrong. $50 million out of court
20,
settlement.
I think it was.
It could have been 20, yeah.
Do you know what I think? I think that for justice to truly be done there, the people who suffered for that should have gotten nothing, not one fucking dime, because no one suffered from that. No one was harmed in any way by that. There was no harm done.
Matt, sex kills.
Not usually.
Sorry. Simulated sex kills.
Well, it's just bizarre.
It's a killer.
I know I've said this before, and I think I've said this on the podcast too, but a game that has that much violence, racial violence, swearing, gang warfare, drug use, and suddenly there's a nipple and people freak out.
Well, what's the worry? That kids are going to play this game, then go out and simulate sex? I mean, in that case, they didn't even need to pull it off the shelves. Just repackage it and put it out there with a pack of condoms or something. Do you know what I mean? Think outside the box.
Condoms in the box.
Okay, yeah. Next topic, because we're like...
we're flying through them.
We're stuck on Gay Tony here.
Local iPhone indie developers.
Yeah, look, I just I want to briefly, and I will be brief talking about this because it's something I've noticed. We get a lot of press releases and a lot of people contact us wanting us to actually talk about their games on the site or promote them or let people know about it. And usually we have the best of intentions.
Oh yeah. We really plan to support these guys.
Yeah, we do.
Fully.
We have 12 people on our or 10 or 12 or something like that
11, I think.
on our team dedicated to bringing you the most up to date exclusive Australian gaming news
in all areas of the Australian gaming industry.
Absolutely, but
we really plan to do that.
We do. We've been planning to do this for a good 4 years. So I just want to mention a couple of the ones because it feels like all in one hit. There's just a shitload of people doing iPhone games and things like that based in Australia.
There are.
Kind of coming off the back of Firemint, which is a Melbourne studio. They did Flight Control. on the iPhone, which I just found out.
Which was highly groovy.
1.5 million downloads.
Yeah, someone recently broke the record for that too.
Oh,
I
really?
think the record is now held by a guy who managed to land 27,000 something planes.
Once again, people with way too much time.
Way
on their
too
hands.
much time.
They also do another one called Real Racing, where you actually move the iPhone.
Yeah, I've
side
seen
to
that
side,
one. That
depending
one's
on how you drive
interesting.
it, which is cool. But there's a couple of other ones. Three blokes up here in Brisbane with with John Passfield now. He used to be at Pandemic.
Yep.
They got one called Brainiversity 2 that just came out. Cav actually had a look at that on the site. So if you don't have a Wii or a DS, you know,
You can get your brain on.
you can get your brain on. Curious Bear.
They were originally called By Curious Bear, but they have changed their name. That's a lie and probably slander.
by Curious.
Libel, actually.
You know, depending, their game is called Cluck It. Depending on
That was originally called...
which is an iPhone game as well. You got Starring Man, which is over in Perth. I think Jay actually had a look at that one. Pools of Blood.
Pools of Blood.
Which, you know, there's not really many ways to
As
take
far
the
as
title
I
of that
can
one.
tell, it's kind of Diablo-esque. Is that the vibe you get? I had a bit of a look at some screenshots and stuff of it. And
I just don't think... I mean, you say Pools of Blood, you kind of know what you're getting, surely.
it's not... it's certainly not like a kiddie platform.
I don't know what kind of...
horse-
look, I don't
Barbie
know
horse
much about the
adventure.
game. I don't have an iPhone, and I really want one. I haven't
You've been
played these.
failing to get one, haven't you?
Yeah.
Because they don't... 3 have decided they don't want iPhones.
Actually, everyone's out of stock. Everyone,
Yeah?
and they're all saying, "Yep, they'll be delivered sometime in September." I'm like, "Great, can you let me know?" No, sorry, we can't let you know. But
What?
keep an eye on the website.
Why can't we let you know?
I don't know because I don't know.
Do they not have a fucking phone?
No, because there's no
3? No,
iPhones.
but they are other phones.
I don't know.
That's
I don't know.
weird.
There's the other one is Wide Developments, which is actually up the Gold Coast. I just like the name of one
It
of the more
deserves
recent
mention.
games that they've actually, which is why I was confused at the start of this podcast. Space Mutants from Space,
Yeah, I like that. I was
as
saying...
opposed to Space Mutants from Earth.
Yes. Reminds me of... Do you remember that video that we saw ages and ages ago? It won some competition, and they basically... Someone had a secret underground laboratory in space. And they did some... They hacked the mainframe to find out the location of the secret underground laboratory in space and discovered that it was, in fact, in space. So
Right.
they went there. It was quite bizarre. It was an awesome bit of video.
Did I see that?
I don't know.
It sounds cool.
Captain Steve America.
Captain Steve America.
Do you remember that?
No.
Oh, I'll have to show you it
check that
later.
out, yep.
It's really, really awesome.
All right. Well, and look, I mean, there's a whole bunch of other ones. I just kind of want to bring people's attention to the fact that there are a bunch of people.
Sorry? The
What?
Terrible Cosmic Death
Okay.
was the name of it.
All right, we'll check it out after
Yep.
the podcast. But I just kind of want to bring people's attention to the fact that there are actually a lot of developers now. And because, I mean, a lot of the time people don't even realise that there's even game developers in Australia. But a lot of
Yeah.
them are now seriously moving into the iPhone sort of side of things.
Yeah, the iPhone is a really good platform for development in that there's such a good, strong, established base. It's an established base who's already proven they're willing to spend money to buy something that doesn't do very much.
Yeah.
They proved that by buying an iPhone. And that... See, did you like that?
Yeah, I did. I see that.
yeah.
I got that, yeah.
But it's got a pretty low barrier to entry in terms of development costs and so on. So it's an understandable platform.
I guess the other thing is I just want to kind of draw attention to these guys as well because, I mean, I'd like it if people would at least check out the game. If they do like the game, get it, because there are a shitload of games out in the iPhone, and it's kind of hard, unless you're someone like Fireman that managed to get, 1.5 million downloads to get to the top of the charts. It's kind of hard to stand out sometimes.
Because, I mean, some of these games are not bad. Like, I haven't really seen or played a lot of them, but Fireman's Flight Control, it is one of the top selling. I think it is the top selling game on the iPhone ever.
Right.
Which is respectable.
Impressive. Yeah.
So they're good, and they cost like $1.20. So seriously, just fucking buy them. 'Cause we told you
that's
to.
right.
Honestly, just buy all of the ones we listed.
That's right.
Go do it now.
Go do it now. Actually, you know what? I'm going to skip ahead because I actually think this works in nicely to events.
Events.
Yeah, mainly because I think there's going to be a couple of these iPhone developers at some of the upcoming events, so you should go to some of these and check them out. It's a nice plug. Did you like that?
That is. Events such as...
Events... Oh, wow, nice lead up there. I feel all professional all of a sudden.
We could fart and scratch ourselves if that helps.
I have been. The whole podcast.
That's great.
In order, actually. There's an event called Biteside, which is happening down in Sydney. If you're Sydney-based, go check that out on the 15th of September. It's a bunch of gaming journalists and editors
I saw this.
getting
This
together
was
at a pub. They said having some drinks. I'd like to say getting drunk and talking about games.
Yes.
As that should be the way. And they're going to film it too and put it up online, which I highly approve of.
Yeah, it's basically a new kind of panel web show thing based on these particular journalists and people in the industry getting together and talking about games and stuff. And if I was in Sydney, I would definitely be going there.
Stuff like this comes up all the time in Sydney. I hate the fact that I live in Brisbane because of this sometimes. Although I do love Brisbane, don't get me wrong. But there's so many good events like this down in Sydney that I wish I could make it to.
Just by the way, this is Tuesday the 15th of September, and it's at the Shelbourne Hotel in the corner of Sussex and Market Street, Sydney.
You need to go to the Biteside website, though, and register. I think there's limited RSVPs.
Right. Limited tickets, so go to Biteside, byteside.com.
But,
and have a bit of a look.
Good on them, and they're going to do it every 2 weeks.
Yeah, it looks good.
I'm certainly going to try and wrangle my way into this drinking panel. I'm a big fan of this.
Yeah, and also, we'll watch the video when it comes on.
Yep. And you should be drinking while you watch the video. I think.
Yeah, just keep in the spirit, because otherwise you'll be thinking,
keep in the spirit with the spirits.
Nice.
Not good. No.
I did see a headline the other day that was about a career as a bartender, and it was something along the lines of mixing up a spirited career.
Oh.
I'm like, whoa, got the 2 puns. That's fine fucking journalism there.
The 2-punner. He would have been standing around the water cooler later on going, hey, high-fiving everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you the best headline I ever saw?
Tell me.
Headless body found in topless bar.
That's a coup.
That's pretty good, yeah.
The guy that found that story...
You would just retire.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. I can end.
I have achieved my goal.
So you've got that one coming out for all you Sydney-siders. That's great. Good for you. Whatever. Brisbane, we've got Gen Con coming up in a couple of weeks' time.
Indeed, we do.
Which, initially you might think Gen Con, you might think like the big tabletop gaming thing over in the States.
Because that's what it's for.
And I think last year, 3/4 of the venue was actually just filled with tabletop gaming. This year, they're doing a lot more focus on the electronic gaming side of things. Yeah. Thankfully, I'm a big fan of that.
More balance. So they haven't reduced the amount of
they've actually got some game publishers
games
coming this time.
Yeah.
I know Microsoft's going to be there, Nintendo's going to be there, 2K is going to be there, probably with Borderlands or something like that. We're going to be there as well. We'll have an Australian Gamer booth where, as per usual, because we don't like to deviate or we're just lazy, we'll have beanbags, TV, and old school games for you to come and wreck.
We'll also be doing a podcast there, I believe.
We will. We'll do a podcast live on stage with me, Matt, and Yahtzee.
Even though we're not going to be deviating at Gen Con, I think we should deviate at eGames. I think maybe it's time to do something new at eGames.
Ooh.
So if anyone has any idea what to fucking do, let me know, because I go at nothing.
Okay, this is a problem that we've had ever since we started going to events, was they said, great, you're going to support us, you're going to come down, you're going to help. Great, well, look, we'll give you a booth space. We're like, fantastic. Hold on a second.
We'll use this to sell our products.
Yeah, it's like we don't have a new game coming out, and I think it's a little bit pretentious to put like a big screen TV showing the latest games, because like that's the publisher's job, and we're not publishers. We're a gaming website sort of thing.
Yeah.
We're media, filthy.
Do you know what
media,
would be fun?
So.
Have a big screen TV and play games that turned out to be shit, like publicity reels for games that were actually not any good and came out like 4 years ago.
I don't know if that's really going to help us.
That would
much,
be great.
Doesn't that kind of go against the whole?
No. We're way out of date and we're bad. I think that really sums up the site.
Actually, no, I don't think we should deviate. Do you know what the best thing about our booth at eGames last year was?
Chicks.
No, yes. Yeah, there was plenty of them. But no, I thought the best thing was that our booth got so messy with because all the people from the community, AG community stuff, they just the AG booth was like the point of call. So everyone dumped their bags there, all their merchandise there, all their shit there. It got so messy that there was actually some mother at the expo that complained to the event's organizers about how messy our booth was.
Yeah, we actually lowered the standard of the entire expo, and I think, high five.
I'm so proud of that. That we could make that much of an impact. I feel so good about that.
We should get a second booth this time, just for people to dump their shit in. Another
actually, what we could do at the booth at eGames this year? We could give away a whole bunch of Rockstar stuff.
Oh God, yeah. It reminds me I got to send another newsletter.
Yeah. But hey, but yeah, so Gen Con's coming up in Brisbane, so come along to that. We'll be doing a Brisbane Gamers meetup on the Saturday night.
Indeed.
Which will involve Cyber City goodness, because I don't want anyone stealing stuff from my place again.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, so, but we'll be doing that, and look, you guys should know what to expect by now, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
I don't think I can sell this any better than to say I hooked up last year.
Yeah, yeah.
So if I can hook up, you can hook up.
That's right. If Matt can hook up, anyone
exactly
can hook up. So there's Gen Con. After that in Melbourne, you guys can look forward to the Digital Distribution Summit, which I think is at the end of this month. Probably more of a bit of an industry event.
Yeah, that does sound... Well, I mean, it's got the word summit in it. Which,
yeah, well, there are developers and stuff that listen to this podcast.
Either means...
Yeah.
It means one of two things. Either there's a lot of people discussing quite high-level things,
or it's on the top of a mountain.
It's at the top of a mountain and you have to climb to do it.
Or both.
If it... a summit.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Digital Distribution Summit.
Isn't there a brand of cold water? Like
yes.
Filtered water called
Summit.
Summit as well?
Yes.
Oh, you would serve that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
None of this Mount Franklin bullshit.
No.
Summit.
Yeah.
At the Summit. Anyway, I guess it's more for industry people sort of thing, but they've got a bunch of cool speakers. The only one I can remember off the top of my head is Rob from Firement, but they're talking about digital distribution and all the options and opportunities available for developers.
Which is such a huge growth field. I mean, as well as the iPhone, this probably the step up from things like the iPhone is the digital networks.
Yeah, there's just so many opportunities there. So
and
they do have some internet. I know they've got someone from EA. And they got other people as well.
Awesome.
They did ask if we wanted to go down, but I said no, we can't because we're too busy covering the 48-hour gaming competition.
Nice. I like your little link there that you
which is
down.
Is on that weekend towards the end of this month as well. If you missed our coverage last year, well then you should really follow it this year.
Yeah, you don't know where to go with that, do you?
48-hour gaming competition is a thing put on by the IGDA in QT campus up here in Brisbane. 48 hours, teams battle it out. Well, they don't battle, they just have to make a game within the period of 48 hours, which usually means...
is not, when he says gaming competition, it's not to play a game, it's to make a game.
Yeah, exactly. And at the start of the event, Suri from Samir actually picks 3 particular topics. I think last year it was Watermelon, Spaceman, and... something else I can't remember.
Can't remember either.
But the point is they've got to make a game, an original game, based on those 3 things within the period of 48 hours.
Those ingredients.
This year they've got a lot of professional developers actually competing. I think they've got 2 pro teams competing, so it should be interesting. And we will pack in the Red Bull, take our usual media center that we had last year and proceed to bug and annoy everyone that we possibly can.
Yep.
So if you're interested in doing that, register for a team. Go check out the 48-Hour Gaming Comp website, which is at blah.com. And yeah.
Just at google.com.
At google.com. The last event that I just wanted to bring up is, of course, eGames.
In
Melbourne in end of October.
As far as I'm concerned, eGames is the event. The event for the year.
It kind of is, because it's the only event that I can think of that's kind of dedicated to video games, although they have branched out quite a lot. They now do Develop, which has game developers. They've got DLS, which is the Digital Lifestyle Show. So they've branched out to a lot of other things. But you'll find the most publishers are actually at eGames showcasing their wares.
Yeah, it's quite an event. It's definitely good. We'll talk about that more when we get closer to time, I think.
When we get closer to it. But I mean, we'll have a booth. We'll be there. We'll be doing parties and gaming and drinking and
lowering the standard.
Lowering the standard. That's it, exactly. So those are the events. Sorry, that probably took longer than you may have expected or thought.
Yeah, whatever. I don't mind.
What else have we got to talk about?
I wanted to talk quickly about the PlayStation 3 update. A new firmware update was released for the PlayStation 3. Normally that wouldn't be a big deal, and this is no exception.
All right.
The reason I want to mention it is because it's the update of 3.0. So it...
Well, that sounds significant.
It really does, doesn't it? Now, what that does is it basically puts a box around the contacts on your friends list. It adds sparkly shit to the background. And that's about it.
Just curious, I mean, when you've been using your PlayStation 3 lately, before this update, were you like going, fuck, you know what? You know what this needs?
God, I wish this had a box around there.
This needs some sparkly shit,
Just needs some sparkly shit.
Just a bit of sparkle would really pick this one right up.
Yeah. So it's interesting because it shows very clearly that Sony don't understand software because they don't even understand fucking version
Was
numbers.
there stuff like under the hood that you didn't notice that was broken that you didn't notice?
It's possible that they'll like redevelop the entire system completely from scratch, and it's an utterly new one, ready to have some shit hot
but
new
it just
features
looks
added.
the same.
But looks the same.
You know what? That sounds very much like a programmer's update.
Yeah, no, and that would be cool if they were ready. You know what I was thinking the other day? They could do the XMB system could be done really effectively in 3D by having it so like you rotate and stuff instead of just so you like imagine something like
everything's better in 3D.
It is.
What about 4D?
I'll zoom through time. No, but like something like even something simple like well, not that it's particularly simple, but like Flower, just go and go left, right, left. Zoom in, big icons.
That's what Microsoft needs to do with the Natal or something like that. That would be a cool interface with like just hand gestures and stuff.
Well, I'm not even talking hand gestures or anything like that. I'm just saying.
But I am.
The same, yeah. I guess I find it really bizarre they made such a
Did they make a big deal about it?
Well, they announced it and stuff, and they said it was the last major update for the year, and I'm like, no, whatever was the major update previous to this is still the last major update for the year.
Maybe they just wanted to round it off before the end of the year.
I don't know. It's weird.
We gotta get to 3.0.
Because there's still some...
Quick, bring out the sparkles.
I know. There's still some shit that really needs to be fixed in the PlayStation interface.
Like the interface?
Like the whole interface. Right. But what my favourite thing I think that they've added, I complained early on that the interface didn't have a clock on it.
Right.
In the top right, there was a space that needed a clock. It was desperate for a clock. Clearly, I am quite influential on Sony, and one of their updates did put a clock in it.
Right.
But on this update, they've put a second clock next to that clock.
Really?
Yes. There's an analog clock next to the digital clock.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's like a centimetre away from the clock, because it's really good to have a tiny, hard-to-read analog clock right next to the digital clock.
Well, obviously they saw the analog clock and they thought, fuck, that's really hard to read. We better put a digital one next to it.
No, it's the other way around. It used to have a digital one. Now they've added an analog one next to it. And do you know what I think they've done?
What?
I think they've gone, you know what? The Xbox 360, that interface has only got one clock. Fuck this. We are going to win the console war here and now. Fucking 2 clocks. Bam! That's going to be a bullet point on the box, I reckon, from now on. 2 clocks.
I have a story.
Okay.
I've been staying at the Gold Coast for a couple of weeks, and while I was down there, I found an old watch of mine that I don't wear watches, but this one is cool. It was this fossil watch sort of thing. There was this cool armband thing. I was like, oh sweet, I got a watch. I could use a watch. Yeah, that'd be great, sort of thing. So I put it on, and I wore it out and about, and the entire time I was down at the Gold Coast. After 2 weeks, I looked at it and I realised. This clock doesn't actually work. Because it was the same time that it had been when I put it on my arm. And I remember looking at the time, I'm like, fuck, it's 4 o'clock already. Oh, well. And I thought nothing of it for the next 2 weeks.
So you consistently for 2 weeks thought, 4 o'clock already?
No, I just never really looked at it for 2 weeks sort of thing. I was just like, oh, well, it's handy to have there in case I want to know what the time is, But I obviously didn't until the end. And I was like, shit. It's broken.
That is some very fine work.
I thought like that. All right, let's move on to some other stuff. Get BlizzCon. Don't get it out of the way. Get your World of Warcraft BlizzCon bullshit out of the way.
The only thing that really needs to be said in BlizzCon, I mean, they announced some more StarCraft stuff, and they announced a little bit more in Diablo, but the main thing was the announcement of the next upcoming update for the next upcoming expansion, for World of Warcraft, which is called Cataclysm, which was already known.
Yep.
Because they trademarked Cataclysm.
Of course they did. Because they're Blizzard.
And it's interesting in that it's set in the same world the original was, but where that world has been fucked up.
Okay.
So it's the same Azeroth that was in the original. Does that mean they
go back to the original environments and they wreck them?
They've been destroyed. Yeah, they've been damaged by a big upheaval.
I find it a little bit disappointing that you need an expansion pack to do that. I remember there used to be some MMOs that used to do this. They actually used to wreck whole cities. Well, it starts with A. It was
Asheron's
a Microsoft.
cool.
Asheron's cool. Yeah, I had some friends who used to play that quite a bit.
Mm.
They said it was amazing because like you'd spend months and months in these towns. You'd go between them. Then all of a sudden, like the developers who would play as they would create these events that would happen, like some massive 20-story beast would appear and destroy the town. So when they went to sleep in this town and they respawned in a crater.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Which I just think is fucking cool.
Mm.
But I guess World of Warcraft kind of just needs an expansion to make these changes on the original levels.
Well, I mean, calling them levels is kind of dismissive. It is a world, and it's a complicated.
But
model.
they're not even like making a new area. They're just
They
wrecking
are.
an old one.
Of course they are. They're adding quite a few new areas
and wrecking the old ones.
Yeah, mixing it up a bit.
Because everyone's so bored of the old ones now.
Well, no, I must admit, I do actually approve of that change. I think that's an interesting change in that it provides a new twist on the existing thing. Because the thing is, like, from 1 to 60, everyone played in these areas.
What if you've never played World of Warcraft before and you install the Cataclysm update, and then you go through these areas and it's like they're all ruined? Wow, I wish I could have seen them back when they were pristine and beautiful.
Yeah, kind of a bit too bad. But if you're only getting into World of Warcraft now, you're a little late. Or, not even
There's
now.
still people being born every second, man.
I know, there's still going to be people coming in, but regardless, they'll play when they play.
All right, fair enough.
Sorry, there are 2 new races being added. One's called the Wolvar, I think, and they're basically werewolfy. And there's goblins being added as playable characters.
Okay.
Which I think is a cop-out, because there have been goblins in there for ages. So it's just boring.
I don't get it. Aren't there already goblins?
Yeah, but these ones are different.
Right. That's all right. Hey, look,
Hush.
blood elves are different.
Yeah.
They're evil elves.
Yeah.
And stuff.
So anyway, that's Cataclysm. Bunch of new stuff. I actually am relatively uninterested. I'm sure I'll play it. I'll
of course
probably
you
level
will.
to the end and then
Of course you will.
quit.
Look, I just wanted to quickly add a couple of other things. There are a couple of games that have caught my eye recently. Obviously, I played Batman Arkham Asylum, as I hope a lot of the rest of you did, because I think it's fucking awesome.
Probably listening to this while they play.
Good, because I was just really blown away. I loved it. I thought it was great. Everything
I
about
haven't played that much of it. I watched Yahtzee play a fair bit of it, but I've been playing other games. And
do you know? Well, just to get back to Batman for a second, do you know why I liked it so much?
Because
there was a moment
fanboy.
halfway through the game that I was like, I love this game now. There was a I don't want to spoil it.
Then don't.
No, I'm just going to make vague references to it.
Oh, that's helpful.
Okay, so the whole game kind of, I guess it's in touch with the Arkham Asylum comic sort of thing, which questioned is Batman sane and all this kind of stuff. There were just a bunch of cutscenes and particular sequences that actually questioned that sort of thing. Started to actually, should Batman, does he belong in the asylum with the rest of them, sort of thing. There were just a bunch of scenes, like one where it actually twisted around, where you and Joker are actually in separate things. Instead of you leading Joker into the asylum, Joker's leading you into the asylum, but it's from your viewpoint, sort of thing. It's just, I don't know, just stuff like that I thought were really, really good, and I didn't expect them in a comic book game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's intelligent.
Yeah.
Set in a comic or not, it's had a lot of thought and a lot of attention put into it.
So I really like that.
It's one. I'm actually playing Mini Ninjas at the moment. I'm not quite sure when that comes out or came out.
I don't know.
It's either like about now or coming soon.
Right about now.
Don't. But I've the Funk Soul Brother. I couldn't.
Hey. Yep. So
I've been playing a bit of that, and I've been playing Buffy the Vampire Slayer on the DS.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You should be.
You asked for it.
I wanted it. I wanted to like it. I wanted to enjoy it and play it, and it was just shit.
Yeah. Well, that's Buffy for you.
Hey. I think if anything sums up the experience, it's the fact that it's harder to kill vampires with a stake than without a stake.
Killing them with what? Broccoli?
Than with barehanded.
Okay.
It's easier to kill vampires than with a stake.
I saw the funniest video of a cat eating broccoli yesterday.
YouTube, what have you done?
Sorry, that was a bit random. Last thing I just wanted to prickly say. Prickly say.
Prickly say. With your prick.
Yeah. Hey. No, I'm not going to go there.
Don't.
Project Needle Mouse.
Yeah, seriously, what
has
the
been
fuck?
announced. Do you not know what that is?
No, I don't.
Oh my gosh, have you never heard of Project Needle Mouse?
Oh God, what is it?
It's a new Sonic game
Oh, right.
coming out next year. Interesting. I bet you didn't know this. I think it's to celebrate, or the announcement or the release of it is celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the Dreamcast.
Wow.
I could be wrong on that, actually, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's timed up with.
Maybe
didn't
that sounds about right.
the Dreamcast came out in 99, didn't it?
99?
Yeah. That's a long time ago.
It is, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So and it's a 2D runny type Sonic game.
Well, there's nothing else that's been announced about sort of thing. There was a trailer that showed absolutely nothing except speed, Sonic, rings, 2010, fuckers. You know. But look, I'm a big fan of Sonic doing absolutely anything different right now, other than what they're currently doing with the franchise. So yeah.
If it's a return to form, then great. If it's not, it's just more, more of the same.
Look,
it's unfortunate.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, we've run out of topics now.
We've run out of topics.
I do just want to say a big shout out to our man Jay. He has become a man.
Well, he was previously a man. He's now become a husband.
He was a boy. Now he's a man.
Is that the requirement?
No.
Is to be married?
No, probably not.
Congratulations to Jay.
Jay.
Married, hitched. He went to, where'd he go? Bali?
Bali. He went to Bali. Beautiful Bali. Beautiful, balmy Bali.
Shut up. And he got himself hitched over there and is now honeymooning away. So well done, Mr. J.
Bigger congratulations to him for actually choosing to spend some of his honeymoon at the Tokyo Game Show in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, a fine call on that.
Which will be the first Australian Gamer correspondent we ever have at a foreign expo event.
Nice.
Not because we sent him there, but because timing-wise he just happens to be there at the same time.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But I do think it's appropriate to send our token Asian guy to the Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah, he'll blend right in.
He
People
will.
won't know.
No, exactly. So, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to Japan.
When?
March.
Oh,
it's a while off, yeah.
Cool.
We're getting ourselves all organised. I keep getting emails and stuff from Jetstar saying special fares on Tokyo, yay! And I'm like, I don't have any money now.
Oh, right.
Bastards.
Fair
but
enough.
anyway, I will.
Cool. Well, yeah. Matt, it was lovely partaking in this podcast with you this week. It was nice being back.
It was very exciting. Don't forget to come and visit us at Gen Con if you're in Brisbane.
Come visit us at
Gen
Gen
Con
Con,
if you're in
E-Games,
Melbourne.
48-hour gaming challenge, and anything else that we're at. I think George or Anna or someone from Melbourne's going to be at the digital distribution thing. We're not going to have anyone at the forum thing because Jay is away. And Starks is busy with stuff. He's always busy getting organised to get married. So he just needs to do a Jay and just get married.
Yeah, just get married. Go
Hurry
to
up.
Bali, get it done.
That's right. Get it over with.
So, yeah.
We just okay. Quickly, we're running out of time, and I can see you're getting sleepy.
I'm old. I'm very old.
Yeah. We have closed applications for new team members on Australian Gamer. So if you had hopes and dreams and desires of actually joining the team, you're going to have to wait a lot longer. We've cut it off and we've started narrowing it down. We're in the teens at the moment. Everyone should have been contacted by now, whether you made it or not.
If you haven't been contacted, then...
If you haven't been contacted, contact me and I'll tell you that you didn't make it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Unfortunately. But just to give you a slight preview of what we're actually going to be doing, just a little taste. We're not going to choose two or three people to join the team.
Nope.
No, we're going to choose 8.
Yep.
And then we're going to run what we like to call Australian Gamer Survivor.
Yeah, it's going to be the last one standing.
Over the course of a couple of weeks, or quite a few weeks, we're actually going to make each of these 8 contestants compete in various ways.
Winner takes all.
Winner takes all. Winner becomes an AG team member. And you, the loyal reader, get to actually vote who you want to stay or go from the island.
Well, are we gonna do like voting on the site or only on the forums?
No, we'll have to figure that out. But either way, there'll be a poll where it's like these are the names, and judging on the test that we made them do this week, like the first week test will probably be something like you all have to review the same game, sort of thing. So there's 8 people, 8 reviews, and whoever is the weakest link. they get knocked off that week.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Could be crazy. Could have double evictions. Could have, like, surprise intruders. Oh, my God. It's all over the place.
We could just make shit up as we go along.
Can we do, like, Australian Game of Survivor up late? Like the X-rated version? Sort of
yes. All...
the nudity. That's what we need.
Yeah, all contestants have to get their tits out. That's the rule.
Most of the contestants are guys.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's all right. Yeah, nah.
All right, well, so it's been lovely talking to all you fine people again. We're going to go off and
Thank
do
you very
something.
much
We're
for
going to
tuning
go
in.
and play Rock Band Beatles.
Yeah. Rock Band Beatles and Guitar Hero 5.
Yes.
We'll give that a crack. Also, just quickly, I think everyone should actually just keep their eyes on Game Damage next week.
Some exciting stuff coming up there.
Exactly.
All right.
Thank you very much for
bye.
tuning in.
Lovely, lovely children.
Love you so much. Bye.